Part 2, 12/12/2022. Part 2. Like I said, after I would say, 5 days after being in the hospital and, making amends with my fiance and all that. And, like it was little bumps, but it wasn't nothing major throughout, since then, life been great. Like, felt like I had a lot more energy than other things. Felt like I did things, and I felt like, almost being 30 years old, I felt like I achieved a lot. Almost being 30 years old, the 23rd of this month, big cap season, and just doing the impossible twice and having a near-death experience and just adulting. I finally got my first car. I'm actually making a car payment. I'm actually, finding side hustles by doing DoorDash. After the holidays, I might do Amazon Flex, on my days off I have at work. You know what I mean? So, by any means, I feel like my life after, 5 days spent in the hospital last year and putting my health first, putting my family first and putting myself at first, even at work. Like, I took a couple mental breaks off of work because, I felt like the work get overlooked. Like, the good things get overlooked, but I feel like the bad things is always occurring. And I feel like when the good things occur, it gets overlooked. But when the bad things, is always a problem. So I feel like now outside of work, and I feel like even doing my lifelong dream, I always wanted to be big on YouTube, and I feel like it's going to come. My time will come, and like I feel like certain things I do on YouTube, it's cool to me, you know what I mean? So it's like I feel that, at the end of the day, I like to be positive. I like to send Bible verses, daily affirmations, I like being on Instagram, Snapchat, not just for the messy shit or, the drama. I like to be on there to just be positive. I like to be on Twitter to be funny and positive, I like dark sense of humor. I like all that. I like just being a dad and a fiance, or I guess a husband now. Damn near been 8 years. So, I just like doing adult things, I like making friends. I don't even know if I make a friend on the internet, it's like I'm comfortable with that. If we meet up, we meet up, like on some friend shit, you know. Like, I approach everybody like approach them as the cool and chill type of dude, and I feel like I'm doing that. I feel like I'm definitely on track of being something great, you know. I like comedy, I like saying dark sense of humor shit. So if I do, I said this to my coworker, like I might be the first comedian to have an OnlyFans just to say some dark sense of humor. You know what I mean? You guys subscribe to it in order to hear my dark sense of humor because I can't post it on TikTok or Facebook, Twitter, or even Instagram or Threads. So you gotta, like that's in the future though when I do that. But I'm not gonna post anything, that's sexual. I'm gonna just say a bunch of my dark sense of humor jokes on air. You just gotta pay for it. I'm gonna make sure I have like a lawyer on deck for that. You know what I mean? So y'all won't come at me like I'm on a fucking website that I just say all the dark shit on here. You know what I mean? And I say it not to say it to be mean, but I say it brings laughter, bro. And like people will pay to see and hear my dark shit. It would take time for me to open up about my dark sense of humor, but at the same time, I care about people. I can be a caring person and say some dark adult jokes, and be comfortable with it. You know what I mean? But I like to be different. And I am different. I'm a lot more different than any average human being. That's why I consider myself alien, because like I'm really not from this planet. But I appreciate people being human beings and people just being themselves. So it's like my part 2. I'm gonna keep making these type of videos. I feel like my gaming videos don't reach, but it reaches to a core audience. But I feel like thinking outside the box and just not doing gaming videos and memes and skits and all that. I feel like giving my personal side, dropping my guard down for the internet, because since I'm considered a content creator at this point, because if I have a video of this from last year, but I'm so far into my TikTok, I can't pull up that video to pin it. But eventually I won't pin it. So I'm basically gonna make a YouTube version of this. It might be longer. So so if I don't drop the video right then and then, I'm working on it. So a lot of things I start to do, it helps me a long way. So this is my part 2. I guess I'm gonna make like 5 parts of this for TikTok. So so this is part 2, and probably gonna drop it soon. So make sure y'all follow me, make sure y'all subscribe, and yeah, it's Bass Nerd, Obey Cole's groovy Cole world. You know what I mean? Bass Nerd, and we out. You know what I mean?